When it comes to Eida and BOA Hancock, how exactly are the two characters similar? How are they different? And is one better written than the other? More importantly, who has more charm? Hey everyone, welcome back if you're returning, welcome if you're new, thank you for the support, it's great to have you. Here at Anime and Beyond, if you don't know, we try and get into everything and anything, so definitely make sure to subscribe to keep up with the journey. Alright, so let's jump into Eida and BOA Hancock. First things first, just in case you're unfamiliar with both, or just in case you're familiar with one and not the other, Eida is from Boruto, while BOA Hancock is from One Piece. Now as far as the similarities go, they are both beautiful women. However, I do feel like BOA's beauty is on a whole different level, only because she is renowned for her beauty within the One Piece world by other One Piece characters. And if we're being honest, being considered the most beautiful woman in the world is a huge flex, and that's something that BOA has that Eida doesn't. The second thing they have in common, with the first thing they have in common being their beauty, they both are able to charm and enchant just about anyone. And there's a reason I say just about anyone. With Eida, she has a few limitations, one being that she cannot enchant blood relatives or anyone with the Otsutsuki blood. Not really sure if I said that right, so forgive me if I didn't, but the point is she can't enchant them, and for reasons unknown, she cannot enchant Sarada Uchiha or the class rep either. And while that's unknown currently, I do suspect that they will reveal that later down the road within Boruto. As far as BOA, she can charm and enchant just about anyone besides mainly Monkey D. Luffy, but I imagine she wouldn't be able to charm some of the higher up Marines, but I'm not entirely sure. As for the third similarity, these women both have love interest. With Eida, she's in love with Kawaki, who happens to be one of the few people who is not affected by her enchantment. Now, while he no longer has an alien trying to possess him, he still has remnants of their data within his body, and that's what makes him immune from Eida's enchantment. With the BOA, on the other hand, she's in love with the character named Monkey D. Luffy, who is not only the main character of One Piece, but he is also the captain of the Straw Hat Pirates. I'm personally rooting for both of them to get the guy that they want because I do feel like they deserve that. With Eida's case, I can see why she's so drawn to Kawaki even though I don't really like his character. The thought that she can have something real with someone that's not enchanted by her could very well be a great love story for her. And then with BOA Hancock, she basically loves Luffy because he's different than any other guy she's encountered, and he really changed her whole outlook on men, especially after she learned that he stood up to a celestial dragon without an ounce of fear. It should be known that standing up to a celestial dragon is a very big deal. They have a lot of power and a lot of people fear them because of their capabilities and because of the backing of the world government. They get away with so much within the One Piece world just because of status, and the scary part is that everyone turns a major blind eye to the atrocities and the horrible things that they do. The fourth similarity that we're going to get into, it's a pretty straightforward similarity, and it's just the fact that they both have siblings. Eida has a younger brother, while BOA has two sisters. Okay, so we addressed a few similarities, now let's address a few differences between the two. First and foremost, Eida is a cyborg created by Amato, a scientist, while BOA Hancock is a human through and through. Another difference would have to be the roles that they play within their universe. Eida, she's kind of more in the shadows and hanging back. She's not really participating in anything. While BOA, she's more of a leader. She's literally a pirate empress who rules over the Kuja tribe. And she was actually a former warlord, which is a really huge testament to not only her capabilities, but her strength as well. BOA is a literal powerhouse. And the fact that the world government basically acknowledged her strength says a lot, and is definitely a huge flex. The third difference I want to get into, or the next difference I want to get into, would have to be their backstories. With Eida, we really don't know too much about her backstory, at least not in this current moment within the Boruto manga, but I'm sure that's likely to change hopefully, because I definitely like to know a lot more about her. Now with BOA Hancock, as far as her backstory goes, to say she endured a pretty horrific past is kind of still putting it lightly, but she really went through some horrible things. As a young child, she was basically snatched up along with her sisters and sold to the Celestial Dragons, who then branded her and kept her hostage. Once she was freed, she carried a lot of that trauma with her, and rightfully so, but because of her intense background, her backstory, and what she went through, I would definitely say BOA Hancock is better written. She has a lot more depth to her character, and a lot more character development. Now, I strongly believe that what you went through or your background will have some influence or a major influence on your personality, and that was definitely the case with BOA Hancock. And this is more or less the next difference I want to get into. While Eida, granted she is a cyborg, she really doesn't have that much of a personality, or maybe I should say her personality has been consistent throughout Boruto so far. BOA Hancock is an entirely different case. Now, I did not like BOA when she was first introduced, and a lot of fans of One Piece will probably tell you the same thing. BOA was very insufferable when she was first introduced, especially because of how she treated people. But with BOA, we got to see that hurt people really do hurt other people. So I do love that about BOA's character. She is a perfect example of that and a perfect reflection of that statement. Now, just to clarify, I'm not excusing how she treated other people, but as far as personality goes, she started off as this rude, spoiled, and really cruel person. But now, I would like to think she had a complete personality shift, especially after meeting Luffy, and she seems a lot more tame these days compared to when she was first introduced. Lastly, let's get into who has more charm. Now, I've been kind of using charm and enchantment interchangeably, and maybe there's a better word I can or should use. If there is, y'all just let me know. Anyway, I feel like this category should probably go to Eida, only because with BOA Hancock, yes, her beauty or her charm has gotten her out of certain situations, with her simply playing ignorant and innocent, but with Eida, I genuinely feel like Eida takes us to a whole different level. Especially since Eida's capabilities seem a lot more deadlier. I mean, the fact that her presence, at least for the most part, makes anyone automatically infatuate with her is pretty insane and scary. Not to mention, by her desire alone, she was able to change Kawaki's reality. So that is definitely why I'll give it to Eida over BOA. But with BOA Hancock, with her Devil Fruit ability, as long as people feel some sort of attraction for her or towards her, her ability, her Devil Fruit ability, will allow her to petrify people and they will become stone statues. Now, while I checked out BOA Hancock on the One Piece wiki, it states there that thanks to her beauty and her charm, very few people, male and female, can resist her powers, and we've actually seen her petrify whole crews with ease. Also, I will say, we did see one example of BOA's abilities kind of messing with someone's memory, and that was when she went to Impel Down and there was this guard, and she had no idea of what had happened to her. Even still, we have yet to see that on a grand scale like what we have seen with Eida. Overall, I do like both characters, but out of the two, I do love BOA Hancock a lot more. She's my favorite One Piece girl. And out of Eida and BOA, I would definitely say BOA is better written. She has a lot more to her personality, a lot more to her story, her backstory. So I do think it's pretty fair to give that to BOA Hancock. But anyway, I'm curious to know what y'all think about these two characters. They're both beautiful characters. They're both capable of charming, and they both have really interesting abilities. Now, I'm sure I didn't get all of the similarities or all of the differences, but I feel like I got across the main ones I wanted to discuss. But anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think down below in the comments. I may do another one comparing Delta and Android 18, but thank y'all for tuning in. SierraNovaa is out.